Ryan with Ivy Tech, and this morning we're going to go through the process for leveling a standard 3-screw instrument with a standard tripod. Step 1 is to grab your tripod and roughly locate it over your selected point on the ground. In this case I just have a grassy area. And you want to have your feet roughly 3 to 3.5 feet apart for stability. Once they're located appropriately, go over each leg and bounce with all of your body weight to get that leg sunk into the ground. This gives the tripod stability and keeps the instrument from settling over time. Next, you want to unclamp the legs, grab the head of the tripod and lift it up to mid-chest height, which will be comfortable working height once the instrument is in place. And the secret here is to, by eye, level the top of this before you even put the instrument on, because that's going to limit the amount that you have to turn the screws on the instrument to get it level. Once that is done, focus your attention to the instrument, open your case, and always grab your instrument by the handle and the base, never anywhere else where you could damage, and close that case to keep the dirt out of the case. Instrument goes on top of the tripod, and you want the instrument oriented so that it's fully on the tripod and not hanging off the side. Reach underneath and tighten the screw after it's lined up, and we only want to go tight enough to limit motion, so hand tight. If it's moving a little bit, give it a little bit more of a turn. We don't want to crank it down because we can actually strip threads or break something on the instrument. Now we're in place so we can focus in on leveling. So the instrument is locked now, so find your motion screw. In this case it's this lower screw here, and I should be able to rotate that instrument with just one finger, otherwise something is clamped. And I'm going to take this level vial, which is a tube, and make it parallel with 2 of the 3 leveling screws. So it doesn't matter where you start, just pick 2 screws and make it parallel. Next, take your hands, put them on the screws, and these screws will only go in or out. Never turn them the same way or you will never get it level. So both in or both out, and the bubble needs to move to the right. So I'm going to turn both in, and the rule of thumb is that the bubble follows my left thumb. So my left thumb is going to the right slowly as both fingers turn in to get that perfectly leveled. Once you're satisfied, grab the instrument and rotate it exactly 90 degrees from where you started. So now my starting line was here and my level vial is perpendicular to where I started. And I'm going to use just a single screw. So this level vial is going to tilt up or down as I raise or lower this one screw, and it's going to pivot about the axis where I began. So I'm going to use my right hand, and the bubble needs to go left, but since I'm using my right hand, the rule flips, so I actually turn my right hand to the right to make the bubble go to the left. And then if you go too far, bring it back. Until you're perfectly level. And that bubble tends to wander just a little bit, so give it a moment to stabilize. Once you're satisfied, turn this whole instrument 90 degrees again. Now the level vial is parallel again with my original axis. So I'm going to reach around to the rear on those original 2 screws. And the bubble follows the left thumb, so in this case it's perfect, so I don't need to turn them anymore. Now we're going to turn a final 90 degrees. So we are perpendicular to where we started. And again, I can use the screw on the left to go up and down. Looks like the bubble needs to go left just a fuzz, so I'm going to turn my left thumb out to the left just a little bit until that is centered. And now I go right back where I started, and I should be level if I've done everything correctly. So in this case I'm looking real good. As a double check, always turn 180 degrees and look at the bubble again. It should be in the exact same location. If it's not, then your level vial may need recalibrated. But that is the process for setting up and leveling over an arbitrary point with a 3-screw leveling system.